stay, that is. Well, right now we're going to give you some news on Global Grind and what's going on. We capture some of our news from there on the hip-hop culture and other things that's going on across the world in the entertainment world as well, and what's going on in your community. You can hit us up on www.streetnoise, that's STREETNOISE, radio, RADIO.com. And comment us and let us know what's going on across the world in your community. And also a request of any songs that you want to hear. And also in the hip-hop culture, on the latest on the Global Grind, Lil Wayne, hip-hop rap recording artist Lil Wayne in Miami. His Miami mansion now can be yours for nearly $12.9 million. They're saying that he's selling his Miami mansion for a loss. He purchased his mansion back in 2009 for $14 million, but is now selling it for $12.9 million. We're getting this news from the Global Grind staff, and that was reported almost probably like 39 minutes ago to them. And also the first look of Beyonce's new video for Girls. Photo, Beyonce is back at it. They're saying these pictures are the first look behind the scenes of her new video, Girl. The highly anticipated clip is currently being shot in California in the Mojave Desert. That was reported also about 2 hours ago. Then also in the news, they're talking about there is a story about a Long Island, New York serial killer is an ex-cop. I guess they're saying that this ex-cop is basically a serial killer that has been killing prostitutes and dumping their bodies somewhere in the New York area. But they're saying he is an ex-cop. This is reported on April 11, 2011. On the Global Grind News, it's saying the New York authorities are saying, reportedly are considering the possibility that an ex-cop is a suspect in a rash of unsolved murders for female prostitutes in Long Island, New York. Also, there were women who blame acid attack on a black woman apologizes. Police believe that the killer is a very knowledgeable of the police investigation and forensic tactics. The report cited that the suspect made taunting calls to a victim's sister, but the police could not trace the call because he kept the call under 3 minutes. These kinds of investigations have to take slow steps. You don't want to jump into conclusions. Catherine Rumslin, a professor of forensic psychology at DeSalle University Center Valley in Pennsylvania and author of The Human Predator, an historical chronicle of serial murders and forensic investigations, told my Fox New York News. And also a natural disaster. They're still trying to recover from the disaster of the Haiti's earthquake in 2010 and also in Japan. We're trying to keep up with the news. And once again, what's going on across the world. And also they're saying that a police sent on a manhunt after cop shoots himself and blames a thug. Okay, we're going to get into the news also about that. And NYPD will take photos of suspect eyes to identify them. Also, they're saying. But once again, as we get more into Global Grind News this morning, we want to see what's going on across the world. Today is a beautiful day outside. The weather is beautiful. As we're talking to some people in the Atlanta area of what's going on across the world, what's going on in their community as well. And we want to keep up with the news and what's going on. Also, Rick Ross and Drake are made men. They're saying they have a new video as well. Rick Ross and Drake are made men. They are hip hop rap recording artists, entertainers. Rick Rock rolls through the city in his Maybach Benz while Drake spends his time flying in the club in their new video. And that was reported also. So I guess we're going to go into the video sooner or later, eventually. Also kicking it with the Kardashians. Mason kisses a lady. Kim surprised by Khloe and Lamar. Some photos that's going around. Practically, once again, I guess I haven't been really into the Kardashians or anything like that. But we're going to get into that also. The cutest duets ever. They're saying Jennifer Hudson performs with her son. Jennifer Hudson, who also lost a lot of weight. That's looking very great also. Is once again getting upstage with her 1-year-old son David Jr., the singer. Jennifer Hudson, baby boy, stepped on stage to help his mommy perform in Barbados, and that was reported also on Global Grind also this morning. And also, we were trying to find the story on Ashley Judd and her comments made towards the hip hop culture as well. And I, like I said before, tweeted that I agree with what Ashley Judd is saying about the hip hop culture. She is not beefing with them, but some of the men in the hip hop culture, which they're calling the rape culture, are degrading their own women by calling them degrading names, degrading them how they look and how they act. And some of the things can be, once again, degrading comments. And you degrading your own women of your African culture is basically what I'm getting that she's saying. And I guess a lot of people are upset. They're saying something about Diddy and Snoop Dogg are some of the few names that were mentioned that were degrading women as well. So once again, we're going to find that story and get into that story also. But I do agree with Ashley Judd on her comments. I'm not against anything that she said. And once again, this is Street Noise Radio, reporting live to you. What's up? This is Baby Girl of Street Noise Radio. Basically, as we were saying, the Ashley Judd story, who just released her book about her international social justice, human rights, and public health work, and revelations about painful experience growing up as a child. And there in her paragraph in her book, which she briefly mentions the misogyny of some hip hop and hip hop culture that has caught a lot of heat because of it. In the last 24 hours, they're saying. And as the United Nations Goodwill Ambassador to the Permanent Memorial on the Transatlantic Slave Trade. And basically, Ashley Judd has been working very closely in her inspiring work to end modern-day slavery and the abuse of the poor and the women and girls, in particular around the world. And she wanted to give some platform to express what she does. And that she has been one of the greatest champions while she's in Africa or in India and Central America and Southeast Asia, fighting to end poverty and exploitations of the people are unfairly criticizing her. While we can debate her views on hip-hop and debate that since the days of Def Jam Island Records with Russell Simmons, let us not lose perspective on how love of our people and all people across the world is what they're saying. Just the Ashley Judd story, and they were saying that basically, I guess there's been some beef going on or words being exchanged as what Russell was saying, what brought you to the point that you wanted to write a book? And Ashley was saying that she's bringing the voice to the voiceless, bringing attention to the exploited and the disempowered of people to make a difference for both the grassroots and the international levels, which I can agree with her. Because if you don't have a voice, you're voiceless, and we need people that's going to speak up for us sometimes. And so basically, she said she spent the majority of her time in slums, refugee camps, and hospitals doing big things to help people to improve their communities, and making a shift in schools and clinics in countries that would condemn buildings, listening to the scared narrative oppressed and bringing those narratives to the public and trusting the truth that is being shared is what she was explaining. And she's been in Kenya and South Africa and Rwanda and doing multiple times in different countries addressing these issues since 2008 and maybe longer than that. But anyway, I guess they got into the story about what's his name, P. Diddy, P. Diddy and Snoop Dogg of the degrading comments. And they were saying that she was saying that, you know, it's called the rape culture, not the hip hop culture. And we were just trying to basically go into that and why these men aren't standing up for their own culture but degrading their own culture, which she also explains of things that went on in her past life growing up where she was involved with some type of abuse also that went on in her life. And it's great that she shared her life story that she went through and the struggles that she went through, because maybe she can help another woman or another organization or another culture as well as to express himself. And then she also talks about an 11-year-old child that was gang raped multiple times in Texas over the months as well. And she was African American. I did see that in the news as well. And men were having constant sexual courses with this little girl, knowing that she was very young. And they ranged from the age of, I believe, like 15 through 30 years old. And basically, they're, in so many words, they're saying, oh, it's okay. But, and then in some of the music of Curtis Jackson music, which is 50 Cent, and Sean Combs, and a lot of the hip-hop male rap artists, and some of these women artists, they put themselves out there to get judged by the people because of their reaction that they're doing in their culture, in their music as well. And it is seen in the music videos as well as in the lyrics as well. So that explains a lot, that, you know, on the hip-hop rape culture is what they're calling it, but on the hip-hop culture. But once again, we're going to get more into that. But once again, I don't fault anything that Ashley Judd has said. Like she said, she don't want any beef. And Russell Simmons did report that on the Global Grind, which is one of his websites as well. So that's where I'm getting some of my news from today. So you can also go there to globalgrind.com on the internet and pull this up yourself to read what's going on, to get the latest information of what's going on. And then it also talks about, he's talking about doing some inspiring work, some more reality TV shows. And Chris Brown whips out the 6th most expensive rides. They're talking about that. They're going more into more materialistic things and doing real big things, and houses being sold throughout the hip-hop culture. But once again, we're going to get more into that later on. But once again, this is your girl, Mz.Baby Girl, the Ms. Ms. Dash of Street Noise Radio. We're going to get more into that.